Come on. F1, Control B. It says right here. There we go. Welcome, Bridge fans. And our call-in number, if you haven't found it already, is which finger? There we go. 563-999-2185. And if you dial in on that, when appropriate, we'll get a chance for you to maybe even besides having chat messages, is have a chance to talk. And hopefully we can hear you on the bridge. And if with some luck, it'll come over my microphone system too. I can repeat what I hear. I think I should be able to hear your messages. So I welcome you to do that. So we're going to try different things as far as how we can communicate. But obviously, I'd love for this to be interactive and not just where it's my show, but it's our show and it's your show. So that's kind of the big plan. So if you get a chance, go ahead now and dial in and go ahead and chime in. I don't know if you're muted or not. I hope not, but maybe you can signal me if you can go ahead and go on a chat there and say, yes, it's working or not. So in fact, should I go over there and give it a try? Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and keep on going with the lesson today. So anyway, that's something else I would like to go ahead and go into. So where to go today? So I do have a couple more hands. This is from that same player that I had yesterday on our bridge today. And I think you'll find this kind of amusing. This person I played with was lucky as can be. In my bridge base online, in my profile, a lot of people, well, I played yada, 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 conventions, carding, whatever. I have this many master points. Fine. In fact, before I tell you what is on my convention card, our profile, a little background story. Maybe about 10 years ago, there was something called eBridge, which was a consortium with American Contract Bridge League and a European bridge organization. I forget who they were. But it was a business enterprise, and they had something really interesting. It was a online service back before the days of Fred Gittleman's Bridge Base Online, and I think there was another one, a big company that was out there was doing it. But anyway, ACBL eBridge. So the profile, normally people have all this thing about their left brain, how they play bridge, except this one guy. He was a good player. He was sharp. He was a little bit of an exuberant bidder, if you know what I mean, sometimes, but a good guy. He was fun. And his profile said, bridge players and bridge tournaments, not a good place to pick up chicks. I thought that was so funny. It really tickled me because what we say about ourselves, the image we present, says a lot about the way others see us. So I'll get with mine in a moment, but that's something to think about at the table. So in addition to all this stuff we're going to be talking about on our left side of our brain, the logical side, also be aware, cognizant, self-aware, also aware of what's going on the table of how you present yourself. And we all can easily give tells. Those are little signals where if we fidget some, maybe that means we've got the queen that the declarer is looking for, and we don't want to do that. I think it was Oswald Jacoby when he got older. He had his cards where he didn't have them up close enough to his chest. And one of his opponents said, why don't you chest your cards because I can kind of see your cards. He says, go ahead and look, everybody else is. So just be aware of what I call situational awareness and how we want to present ourselves. Now, okay, to my profile. It varies, but for the last several years, it's been please bid your hand and no repeated overbidding. Yeah, certainly sometimes we can maybe extend or stretch the truth a little bit on what our values are. We want to be competitive. Hopefully you're in the pass out seat. That is, two people have passed and you're trying to save the auction. When you do it, you borrow that virtual king from your partner, and your partner will realize you kept the auction alive and will not punish you by then thinking you had the extra 3 points when you're just, everybody's in the auction. You're just trying to make them push them a little bit higher so they overbid and don't make their contract. Or other things can happen where you get a chance maybe to come with a down one, but if you're vulnerable or not, you lose 50 or 100 points, and that's less than the tricks that they will make. So something to consider. Okay, so that's kind of what I have is just don't repeatedly overbid. I think especially online, people think they're not as accountable. And we want it to be where we can trust our partner. Communications, trust, and respect, big deals in life, big deal at the bridge table. So I share that with you. My career has been somewhat checkered. When I was in the earlier stages of my game, I wasn't such a good partner all the time. I was like, the adrenaline is flowing, and you think, wow, I'm with the big dogs hunting, and I'll throw in a bid that's kind of preemptive, but I didn't really have my values. And you're playing against good opponents, and you're vulnerable, and they think, well, they're maybe only in part score, but if they can set you on vulnerable, that's 200, and in a part score, that's death, going down 200, because nobody else can make 200 with just playing in a part score. There's no game bonuses. So I learned, and I offer that to you, is that sometimes the devil made us do it, and we have to do things, but I would just encourage you to try to be a little bit careful, a little bit cautious. So I don't know if we have any new comments. I'm still getting used to this comments kind of thing. And I see, John, you said that you are in and you can see. I don't hear anybody on the line. I'm not sure if there's any messages coming in. Anybody on the conference bridge? Are you there? Can you hear me? Not sure. At any rate, I'll go ahead and keep on. And we'll go ahead and start playing hands. And I do want to get you to be interactive, though. So if I have things to do on my side in terms of the comments, keep me going. I think Grace is out there in Facebook land and watching. And let me just take a quick look over there to make sure I haven't missed some. Oh, look at this. I am seeing things there. It was on another screen. So I think what's happening on my side, how the sausage is made, is I have a way to link up on a web browser screen to see what's going on. But sometimes I think I might be like linking to the wrong audio stream and text stream. So I do see some coming in there. Okay, so John says chat doesn't show up. Patty's getting another laptop. Grace is putting the dial-in number. And Mary, good to see you out there. Hello to you also. Glad to have you here. So take a quick look over on the Facebook site itself. I'm going to go ahead and go on to this hand. I don't want to take too much time on this, but let's go ahead and take a look at our first hand. And I'm going to go ahead and mask these hands for a second, which, as I understand, is going to make me go away. But hey, you've seen enough of me already. So on this first hand, this person I'm playing with is probably where I was at that point, where you're wanting to hunt and throw in some spells, some incantations, some bids. And so, okay, let's see how this goes. So, okay, on the first hand, let's see. The dealer is going to be over in the west side. So, Wes, let's see your hand. And a nice hand. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but if you have some, go ahead and chime in. And I don't know if I'll be able to see them or not, but I see a 5-5 in the red suits. Pretty cool. I like also that it has all these primary honors, 1, 2, 3 primary honors, and a fourth with a jack is not a primary, but still it's a working honor set. So that's really quite a good hand, isn't it? So even though you said you've got how many points? 4, 5, 6, 7, another 3 is 10, another distribution point for a good 5-card suit there, and one more there. So yeah, you would. But even if you didn't have that jack with just 10, you're going to want to open it because you believe in the rule of 20. The rule of 20 says count your high card points and count the length in the 2 long suits. And if it adds up to 20, make a bid. So yeah, even without that jack, I would do it. Here's the thing where some people, I think, go astray. That's all I need to know. Rule of 20, I've got it. But if it was like a singleton king over here in clubs and didn't have the king over there, you had like a 2 or something to go with the other parts. I don't count that a rule of 20 because that is not an honor in your suit. So your honors should be in the suits. But when you get outside kings, and especially if it's singleton or doubleton, jacks, 3 things that you want to do in bridge, and that is you want to promote. promotion. So if you have like this jack 5 times, it's not that promotable a suit. So something to keep in mind. But okay, back to where we're at. It was certainly going to be a 1 heart bid because you're going to open the greater suit. So 1 heart it is, and it comes over to moi in the north hand. And is this a time for confessions? Maybe it is. Let's take a look. So here's my hand, and we're not vulnerable versus vulnerable. So I'm a little bit more frisky, and I hear 1 heart, and I've got a singleton there. And when I overcall, I like to have a good 6, something like ace, queen, and 3 others. It's got to be a 5-card suit, a really good 4-card suit. But yeah, you'd normally want to have, when you're making a response, you would like to have 8 plus, maybe 7 plus, maybe 6 plus, not vulnerable, whatever. You have some kind of a tactic, and hopefully your partner can kind of count on you. You just don't do one thing one time and something else another, or how can they know how to bid their hand? You want to be a partnership, right? Right. Okay, so what are my points? 2, 4, 5. These 10s are something, but it's really kind of a poor hand. My partner's been frisky bidding the first hands, as you might have heard the other day, and some others I didn't show you. So I thought, there's 2 strategies when you overcall. One is you have entries in the suit, meaning if they end up in 3 no trump, you can count on me, partner. I am going to have some values for you. I'm going to help you, and we're going to set the suit. When they go to 3 no trump, you kind of wonder, did my partner really have that many values? But the other, besides saying I have values, is just I have shape, and obviously it's going to be in a major because you're going to be looking at competition when somebody else has already made a bid, right? So yeah, I thought I'm just going to go ahead and bid my shape, and we'll see. We're not vulnerable. So it starts off 1 heart, and I do a very questionable 1 spade bid in my true confessions with this exuberant partner who loves to bid. And would I do it if I was playing against somebody with like 5 or 10,000 master paints? No way. Okay, background is set. So next over to the east hand, and east has a 5, 4, 3, 1. Ace of spades, tight. 4. Jack of diamonds, blah. We don't know that our partner has the diamonds. You can't be peeking over there in the west hand. Remember, the west hand does have some, but no, we're not allowed to know that yet. This is still a mystery. So nothing for the diamond the way I bid. If you want to count jacks, then you better make some sacrifice somewhere else. Okay, in clubs, Jack 8 fifth, maybe there. Okay, you've got 2 jacks. I'll give you something for one of them. So 4 and maybe another one between those 2 is the way I'll look at it. And hearts, hey, that's my partner suit. Queen 10 4 times, not 3, but 4. You normally like to bid to the level of your combined number of trump. Your partner's got 5, you've got 4. We should be at least at the 3 level. So also, now my ace is not just worth 4 because I heard my partner. So I'm going to give at least a point or 2 for distribution for the extra hearts, because if my partner's got 2 or 3 spades, I can do some roughing. So I think it's maybe worth about 7 or 8 points is the way I'm kind of taking a look at it. And so what do you bid after you hear 1 heart, 1 spade? What's your call? Well, the options, sure, is you could do 2 hearts. You could do 3 hearts. I suppose you could do 2 spades to show that you've got invitational plus values and by bidding the opponent suit. So those are your options. Now this one went 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 hearts. Well, 3 hearts should be something different than if you doubled or if you bid 2 hearts. And a lot of people say, well, it's preemptive. And I would be fine with that bid if you didn't have this ace. If you instead had, let's say, a small card, a 5. then yeah, I would say make a preemptive bid to show that you've got your 9-card fit. Nothing else. You're making a preempt, even though you know your partner has opening values, maybe more. But they went 3 hearts, which kind of sounds like they're signing off, I think. But some people don't worry about what the opponent overcalling. Just figure, what the heck? I'm going to ignore it. I don't think that's great, but anyway, you should make use of the 2 spade or whatever the opponent's bid. Okay, to the south hand. And south has, wow, my partner has a good hand. So they have in spades, king, queen 5 times. Well, wait a second. Wasn't that my suit? Holy smoke. If you're going to be saying bid up to the number of the level of tricks, then that means is that my partner's got 5 and I've got 5. We should be up at 4 spade country. You know what I mean? So that was kind of how the auction then went. So after 3 hearts, and who knows what the arrangements, other agreements are, my partner goes 4 spades. And I think so, yeah, because they have 4, 5, 6, 7 in clubs, another 5 in spades, plus another 1 for distribution. And hearts, they have the ace of hearts. You know, they've got the World's Fair hand. Look at this. They've got everything you'd ever want. So 4 spades. So I was kind of lucky by my 1 spade overcall that most of you would kind of frown on. And I would normally not make this bid either. But here again, sometimes if you want to be a chameleon and you want to mirror what your partner's doing, then okay, let's mix it up. So 4 spades, and you would think that might end it, but no, hold on, there's more. So now we're going to go back to the west hand. West. Huh. So 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 hearts, goodness knows, 4 spades. Yeah, sure, we don't have but doubles and spades. And I hope that before you started even bidding when you picked up your hand, you used what I call the rule of anticipation. I've got a 2-suited hand. 5, 5, 2, 1 shape. I think somebody else is going to have a 2-suited hand, or there's going to be somebody with a long suit. And you can see some long and short suits. How many singletons do you see around the table? I'm going to put all 4 hands up. Okay. We've got 1 here in the club suit. There's 1 in hearts. There's 1 in spades. And how about that? There's 1 in diamonds. So just be aware, East, when you first pick up your hand, it's probably going to be some interesting distribution. I've told you before the other day, well, if you were a BridgeHands Ultra or Premium member, you recall that we talked about the odds and being aware of what else is going around the table where this doesn't happen that often. But when you have one, then somebody else is more likely to also. So you've heard 4 spades by the south hand. And do you want to make a call? Well, your partner said 3 hearts, whatever that means, but how many losers do you have? Now your partner supported the suit. So I've got 2 losers in spades, 1 in clubs, and I guess 1 in diamonds. My partner hasn't said anything about that suit, so I don't count anything after the first 3. I don't count those. So I've got that 7 of hearts is a loser, or diamonds, excuse me. And then in our heart suit, if my partner's got 4 cards in the suit, they went to 3. I don't know what values they have, but could be the king, or excuse me, the queen, could be the ace, might have both. I don't know. But yeah, I think we can let's push the opponents. Let's be a little bit bully. And if they don't have to worry about vulnerability, they can just go ahead and proudly bid 5 hearts. Now, I don't know if you've heard this cliche. There's some truth to it, not absolute truth. And that is that when the bidding goes past the 4 level, 4 spades usually, the 5 level belongs to the opponent. You should either go to slam or you should be doing it, maybe double, something should be happening. You just don't want to play in the 5 level. So it goes around to me and I'm overbid my hand. I'm going to pass. And a pass. And now is my partner going to double or is my partner going to bid 5 spades? Well, how many defensive tricks do they have? The longer the suit, the less defensive trick. If you got ace, king, queen, jack 7 times in the suit, you may not get any tricks because it's only good for offensive, not defensive. So my partner says, well, let's look at my losing trick count. I'm not chop liver here. So they said, well, in spades, I've got one loser. I don't have the ace. In diamonds, I've got one loser. In clubs, I've got one loser. Only count the first three in a suit. So one loser there. And in hearts, two losers. But hey, if they both bid hearts and I have three, my partner is singleton or void. I'm sure of it because there's five or more to my left. There's four or more to my right. And if I've got three, my partner can't have more than one. So yeah, you say, I don't think I even have two losers there, maybe one. So, hey, if I've got four losers and my partner's bid, I think ought to have a couple tricks. So yeah, I should be able to take away two of these. And that makes me be able to say, I've only got two losers between us. So I am going to not worry about this. The 5 level belongs to the opponents. I'm only wondering, should I be in slam? But no, lefty opened one heart. So they've got ostensibly 12 points or more, or shape. Remember, they have 11, it turned out. So my partner goes 5 spades. And you know what I'm doing here in the north hand? Beads of perspiration. My partner going to think that, I better not say any more about the exuberant bidding if they're going to the 5 level. But I'm like, uh-oh, what have I got us into? Okay, well, the spell has been cast. They didn't double the auction because they have all these concentrations in these other suits. So interestingly, and they didn't go to 6 hearts. So we didn't have to worry about that. So the ball is in play. And the opening lead was the 7 of hearts. I think it should be 4th best. I don't know, 7, what that's supposed to mean. I know that you've got a lot of hearts between you, but lead your 4th best. If you didn't have the queen, I should say another point, though. This is, I'm glad I saw this. So let's go back. And let's say that it was not the queen, but it was, oops, I don't want to do that. I want to hit that button first. We didn't have the queen, and we had a 2. And now would be a great time to maybe, I guess, have made your 3 hearts after 1 spade. But okay, so you've got these 4 cards. When you have that, don't lead your 4th best because your partner is likely to think you have an honor. So when you have 3 or 4 and you don't have a good useful honor, aces and kings are obviously useful honor. Queens are useful honor, although they're not primary. Jacks are not useful honors. I would lead the 10. My partner knows if I bid 2 hearts or 3 hearts that I have 3 or 4. So, play top of nothing. It'll help when the dummy comes down for your partner to say, okay, what's going on to my opponent there? So something to be aware of. At any rate, okay. So let's go ahead and go back. And it was 7 of diamonds to the ace and 8. Nice play over here by the other hand, as I guess that's some encouragement of some sort at any rate. You've seen the dummy and you see 3. So yeah, you think, oh, north must not have many spades. At any rate, okay, you're thinking about that over in the west. And for the declare, what is your play strategy? Well, you only lose 2 tricks. You got 1 loser in diamonds, none in clubs. I don't think any in hearts. You got that ace of spades loser. So it should be, let's just play trump. No roughing strategies or any promotion. Just straight away. They take the ace, that singleton stiff ace, and we rough in when they play the second heart. A spade, okay, that would be a 5, 5, 2, 1, right? We're always thinking about the shape on the cards. And we see, oh, righty over here is playing a heart. And we play a heart and rough in. Club up to us because there's no more coming in. And we can see that we can claim at this point. So I hope that made sense. And, I see some notes there. John says, open 1 heart with distributional points. Great. Bid opponent suits to force up. Patty is 3 club Bergen. Ha ha. I'm glad you brought that up because, I was thinking Larry Cohen just had something. Now he's supposed to come out here to California, and I'm going to help him do a lesson down in Marin County. He comes once every year, and I always work with him to do the audio visual for the Marin Bridge unit. And his article that he just had on, he has very good write-ups, by the way. They're free. You can sign up for a subscription. Larry Cohen Bridge. And so he talked about Bergen. Now, Larry, oh gosh, this goes 15, maybe 20 years ago when he used to play with Marty Bergen, and they were quite a pair. They were, they went up to the top, playing in the national and international tournaments quite quickly and did well. And some of the people said, well, the only reason why Marty does so well with his law of total tricks in some of his conventions is because he plays the hand so well. Well, that isn't completely true. But he did invent the Bergen raise. And the Bergen raise, I think, as I've mentioned before, but I'll just bring it up quickly here, is that where you have like one heart, a pass, and then you say, well, look at my hand. I've got 6 to 9 points. I'm not going to bid my normal bid. If I've got 10 to 12, I'm not going to use my normal bid. I've got something else when I have 4 trump, because Marty and Larry played is that when you've got 9 trump, it's special. You're going to get at least an extra trick because you're going to be short somewhere. And then, unless you've got a 4 triple 3, they don't talk about that, but that's the part we should be saying. But when you've got something like that, where it goes one heart, a pass, Patty, a pass, and then you can use Bergen. So it would be 4, 5, I guess, 6, 7, one distribution, but it's 6 to 9. So you're going to bid 3 clubs. And if you've got like 4 and 10 to bad 12, 11, you're going to bid 3 diamonds. Otherwise, you're going to have some other bids you're going to use. But those are the bids that you use when you have a 4-card suit. Okay, I hope that helps. But, Patty, is that when it goes one of a major and there's some kind of an interfering bid, which would be like 1 spade or 2 clubs, whatever, sorry. Marty is... What was that? No! Oh. No. So we only do it when we have no interference. If it was a double or if it was a suit bid, sorry, we don't do it. And a lot of people get messed up on that. Your partner is a passed hand. Some people think, well, it's still on. No, it's not. It shouldn't be when you have interference, including a double, and when it's a passed hand. Now, people say, oh, I play Bergen raises. Yeah, they play some of Bergen raises, but I say, well, okay, do you play bromad? What is that? Something I do if I have an upset stomach? No, it's Bergen raise, BROM, of a minor after a double. So in other words, it goes 1 heart, and for some reason I would do a double, different type of hand. Maybe I have 4 spades, okay. And then over in the responder seat, you say, okay, so I'm going to do a Bergen raise after a double. And so this bromad is another part of the system. So I just caution people, it's not on a passed hand and it's not on that. So good point. I'm glad you brought it up because I've played with people in tournaments. And when we come back to the table after a team game, and it's, what happened? Well, we thought it was one way or the other. I said, please don't play Bergen raises until you've got this squared away. Okay, let's try one more, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day. So we're going to go over to the next hand. I was playing with the same partner. We're feeling really good. I don't think a lot of people found 4 spades. Might have, because it's going to go 1 heart, and then I don't know what. But I think South probably would want to come in 3 spades with their hand. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, good board for us there. And let's see, the dealer this time is going to be South. South, come on, South. There, we got it. Okay, so my partner, as you know, is the South hand, and let's see what they've got here. In clubs, 7 points, and anything beyond 4, especially with entries, I'm going to count for extra tricks, an extra 2 points there, so I'm going to count that as 9 points. And in diamonds, queen 10 3 times. Oh, I love those 10s that are with the queen. They sometimes will get you an extra trick. So I'm going to give myself 2 points there. Ah, gosh. Queen jack tight. If they've got the ace king, it's nothing. I'm going to take away 1 point. I'm going to say that's worth 2 at this point. Partners bid the suit. It's worth 3. Okay. So we've got enough to make a call. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And what else do we have? We've got a rebiddable suit. So if I didn't have this queen of spades, I'm still going to bid it, and I'm going to rebid clubs. I've got a rebid in hand when my partner makes life difficult for me. So if it goes one club and they go two spades, strong jump shift, I'm going to go three clubs. I've still got a chance, even though I wasn't expecting that one coming. So, okay, so it is one club. Over to the west hand. West, are you ready? Yes, West is ready. And holy smoke, there's another World's Fair hand, isn't it? Look at those aces and kings. Oh, how exciting. In spades, 7 points. In diamonds, ace, king again, another 7 points. In clubs, no, I don't bid club 3 times. And if my partner or my opponents bid the suit, forget it. In hearts, 6 points. Well, you see 5, the king 3, queen 2, and then you got 5 long there. And you really like that 10 because you got a sequence there. So, man, 14, 20, one distribution, 21. Woo-hoo. And so what are you going to bid with that hand after hearing one club? Wonder if anybody's got any thoughts on this. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on what you might bid. Patty, John, anybody else? Mary? Okay, well, I'll give it a shot. There's a double when you don't necessarily have support in the other 3 suits. You always have to have 3-card support, but as a overcaller, that is, not as a negative double for responder. But in this situation, yeah, you could make a double, and then you could then bid hearts if your partner doesn't. But you don't want the auction to pass out, because can you count losing trick count? The answer is, well, if your partner supports your suit, or if you have a semi-self-sustained suit. Remember that from our lesson, for those of you who had the Ultra and Premium membership? That is, we take a look at the length of the hand, 5, count the useful honors. They all look pretty useful, 3. It has to be 9 or more, and we're only 8. So no, sorry, you don't want to make a double and then bid a heart normally. Now, sometimes you have to if it's an awkward hand, and this is pretty awkward, but I guess that I would say, let's take a look at what they did. And, oh, I'm sorry, it went actually pass. Try that again. There's a couple other bidders in here before that. It went pass, pass, and then one club. And then over here, they went 2 clubs. Well, isn't that kind of an interesting bit? 2 for the majors, I guess? Huh. Normally, if you bid the opponent's suit, that's what that would be. But I guess they're just going to make some kind of signal, a Q bid, and then they're going to bid their suit. And when you make a Q bid and then you bid your suit, that's another way of saying I've got a lot of extras. So at any rate, so it was 2 clubs. Interesting choice of bids. Hopefully they didn't confuse their partner and the partner thinks, oh, I heard there was 1 club and then 2 clubs. My partner must have had 6 clubs. I'm glad I've got a doubleton over in the east hand. And all of a sudden you're playing in clubs and you've got like a 2-1 fit. That's not a fun thing to do. Well, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at all 4 hands and go on with this. So it was 2 clubs. I like, wow, my partner bid clubs. Hey, should I bid? Maybe I'm just going to pass. I don't even think I want to show any. I'm just going to be an observer at this time. I can come in with a bid later since this is a Q bid. And over to the player now over in the east seat. Well, you've got 6 points. Forget about that jack of diamonds. So 0 to 7 or a bad 8. You're just going to bid the cheapest bid. So you're going to say 2 hearts. And at that point, it comes back over to the west. And what do you think they do? They passed. Well, that's going to be a good board for us, because how many losers do they have? None in hearts, 1 in clubs, 1 in diamonds. And I guess maybe one in spades. So you've got about three losers, don't you? So after you've heard two hearts, that was a forcing bid when you bid two clubs and then they went two hearts. You've got to at least do three hearts. Three hearts says, yes, I know you're 0 to 8 points. If you're at the lower end, if you're 0 to bad 4, pass. If you've got 5, 6, or 7, or bad 8, come on, go. And then once you've heard three hearts, now you'd say, well, oh, I'm not that terrible. I do have an ace in my partner's suit. And I've got that queen. That's not worth anything because that's in their suit. But, I've at least got shortage points. So they, even with that punky hand, should go 4. Otherwise, if you don't do that, what's going to happen is your partner over in the West saying, they're going to say, I just going to have to bid the hand myself. And it's going to go 1 club, and I'm just going to go 4 hearts. And before you know it, this is overbidder's paradise. It's an anti-partnership game. You're masterminding. And all of a sudden is that bridge isn't as much fun anymore because now it is not a partnership game. So I guess what I'm suggesting is that when you have these types of hands, and a lot of bridge is going to be competitive bidding, is you need to work on those. So when there's interference, what happens when you bid the opponent's suit? When you start having a semi-self-sustained suit, a suit quality of 9, good trump, length of cards adds to 9 or more, start looking at your losers, or your partner bids the suit. Start looking at your losers. Vulnerability is obviously a factor also. So I think that's going to be about it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I love having hands like this that actually do come up at the table that illustrate what we're going to do. And I think maybe tomorrow's lesson, we're going to go to some play of the hand. Now, this one, there wasn't a lot to the play, but as I told you, you start looking about, what's the partnership trust? Do you have respect? How well do you communicate together? And then you can do a better job at evaluating your hand. Situational awareness, if you're at the table, not online, even if you have a delay online playing, is that kind of says things about your style. So I hope you enjoyed the show today, and I think that's going to be about it. This new format, I think I'm going to give some different things on this variety show. I haven't talked anything about the bridge laws yet, but a lot of us have some misconceptions of the laws. We have some people out in the audience that are directors, and I know that can probably teach all of us some things as well. But thanks for coming today. I hope you had a good a time as I did. And so until next time, happy trails to you until we meet again. Peace out. Bye for now. Happy trails to you until we meet.